But what about the civilians?
Exterminatus from orbit.
Your superiors will be hearing about this.
How will you survive?
Well, here's the neat part, right? I don't.
You don't? I love that Xeno knew it was bullshit, and he was just like, yeah.
It's confidence. It's all about delivery. Like, what is going on? You guys have fucking, like, stolen the show at this point. V, please help me. Let's face it, I'm not fit enough to be in an evil organization bent on world domination. I could probably do it from the luxury of my own computer.
You see, the British are actually descended from the Time Lords.
Oh my god.
What a downgrade. Anyways.
What the fuck?
Anime, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the NMS Xenobane. Our continuing mission to explore strange new anime, to seek out new ways to annoy our senpai, to boldly weeb like no NEET has weebed before.
Wait. I have never called this man senpai, and I refuse to.
Seems legit.
So, Ensign Xeno, before we start, how are you finding your transfer to this post?
Is my shirt red?
Well, I think our first question will clear that up. So your very first away mission, we've come across an ancient wreck in space, clearly left derelict for centuries. Since we don't know what's over there, we've sent you, our brave red shirt, to explore it.
Okay.
While inside, you start encountering strange and horrifying visions, first of your own past, and then of a ghostly opera singer. With communications to the ship cut off, how will you survive?
Well, here's the neat part, right? I don't.
You don't?
I don't, right? Because, in fact, while aboard the strange derelict, there is a strange new life form aboard it. A life form never seen before. They call themselves Transformers, one of which is named Optimus Prime and decided to run me over, and I got isekai'd.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
That's actually a really good segue into my first question. Mr. Xeno no Poo-Poo, what is your preferred method of teleportation? Drop pods powered by a cadre of evil queens, or dying in order to be allowed into your new dream paradise where you actually have to kill the demon lord? Bonus points if you can name the anime that I just referenced.
Well, I mean, the second one is just gonna be like fucking God knows how much.
If it helps, they are by the same creator.
Oh, then that narrows it down massively. It's combatants will be dispatched and konosuba.
Okay, but what's your preferred method of teleportation?
Konosuba. I need to get really down and humiliated that a tractor's going to run me over. You know, I need. You know, it's all about that weeb life, right? Let's face it. I'm not fit enough to be in an evil organization bent on world domination. I could probably do it from the luxury of my own computer. But that's besides the point. I'm really into playing video games, and that's what I would really be doing. Getting faked out.
You'd be pretending to be a helldiver.
I'm pretending to be a helldiver while scared out by a tractor and die in the streets.
It's okay, the tractor is scared of you too.
V, please. Let's get out of this.
Alright, so let's say you've captured a member of an invading force and found their remote multi-tool of mass destruction. Surprisingly small, you find it relatively easy to pocket for a time, but in a panic, a member of your team decides to bash it against the floor for doing something unexpected. What do you feel is the most efficient way to determine how the remote is broken, given both the invader, now stranded as your hostage, and no knowledge of their technology or written language?
I feel like this is referencing something. This is tickling some deep-seated anime reference in my space noodle of a brain.
What brain?
Yeah. Well, it's a giant pile of spaghetti. Anyway, how do I thoroughly make sure that it's been destroyed? Oh, quite clearly, right? What will happen is the remote, the remains of the remote, after being smashed a lot, will be shoved in a fridge that will be forgotten about in the back end of our, our spaceship, which is like our space Winnebago, because let's face it, we live there. And what you call
totally Spaceballs instead, yeah.
And we'll end up ejecting said corrupted fridge out into space. where it will do some weird pirouette and weird sparklies will come flying out. Yep, 100%.
Lieutenant Xeno, thanks to a tachyon eruption during a routine transport, you find yourself in an alternate world where the inhabitants don't realize that their so-called magic is just a manipulation of the normal energies we in the 24th century have mastered. With your superior training and ability to decipher the precursor technology on this world, how long until you become atomic?
Oh, fuck off!
That's right, it was obligatory evidence and shadow question the whole time!
God. The stupid thing is, I was thinking about, like, you know, the whole data getting brain damage and as a result carrying radioactive material around a village.
We're dealing with a different brain damaged character.
One that doesn't have a brain! What was the question? Because I don't think there was actually a question. There was just you wanted to make the quote. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, how long until you become atomic? I guess really, how will you get back to our world, I suppose.
Nah, fuck it, man. Screw that. I will use the wonders of science and exploitation to screw them all and learn about their bullshit ways and overthrow their governments and, you know, lead them into turmoil and damnation. I mean, what?
Using a terrible banking scheme.
Yes, 100%. Terrible banking scheme. And then I'll try to overthrow my own banking system.
I just assumed that was the UK government, but...
Not wrong.
So now that you have taken down this superpower of a banking system, what amount of torque and at what vector would be required to attain escape velocity if I was using a drill to pierce the heavens?
This is the part of physics that I never truly got. 3.
Well, okay. That would accomplish the magnitude of the vector, but not the direction.
Down. He's going to go down. He's going to go through the planet and out the other side and pierce the heavens.
Because then he can, like, gain momentum as he loses momentum by going through the planet's core.
Oh no! It turns out the planet is hollow and the heavens are inside.
I feel like this is you two just like having some. Like, what is going on? You guys have fucking, like, stolen the show at this point. Like, also, what is that question? That question's like... Bloody hell. A Gundam did it. There you go.
But I thought my drill did it.
Drill Gundam.
V, please help me. Ask me a sensible question. I say a sensible question. A better question.
All right. Hell Commander Xeno, in your long journey, you found yourself on a planet where people have developed technology that allows people to be safely detained or given further punishment, in more extreme cases, through deterministic judgment of their brain patterns and potential to cause harm. How would you personally attempt to ensure your safety from the law during a stay of 1 month?
Okay. This is simple, right? No one in their right mind would do a weekly show that's based on anime and improv. It is just that batshit crazy, and thus such a system would not be able to account for how I think, and thus when I just start randomly doing psychotic things, like, I don't know, anything involving a goddamn server, the system will not be able to account for, like, the insanity and thus not deem me a villain for psychopaths.
His mistake was assuming that all improv artists hadn't already been rounded up and executed.
That too.
Behold the wild Xenogelion. For generations, his kind have struggled to survive without the use of elbows. This often led to strange clipping and odd behaviors, but the Xenogelion was quite happy in his little niche. However, nature is cruel and often forces selection pressures. And so behold, after generations spent alone, watched and heckled by a cruel peanut gallery, the Xenogelion has developed a new survival strategy. With the careful application of elbow trackers, he can exist in this strange VR environment with far less clipping, far more maneuverability, and a much greater ability to express himself. Did you notice? You've been watching this whole time. Please, consider helping the Xenogelion evolve even further by joining his Patreon at patreon.com/Xenogelion, where you can help him to hire like-minded fellows to repopulate this beautiful landscape. And you'll also get access to an extended version of this show. We'll get to see interactions like this.
So I'm thinking Goblin Slayer and now Fumi at Tokyo 3.
Okay, but what's the context? Because that's the only way that those make sense in Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. I mean, get cultured.
I think he's saying that Naofumi would push back the waves of the angels, and Goblin Slayer would kill Gendo?
Well, probably like the whole Ikari family, but yes.
Oh, truly, nature is beautiful. Let's get back to watching it, shall we?
So, Lieutenant Commander Xeno, Space Fleet, which is legally distinct from Starfleet, has received reports of some fringe colonies being attacked by a strange creature. When we arrive, we discover that there's a legend in the sector of an ancient, unstoppable monster named Zerum that matches the description. It can mutate victims into lesser versions of itself, and it has extremely high regenerative capabilities, on par with the Zorg. Yes. How will you stop it while minimizing civilian casualties? Bonus points if it involves a plucky young bounty hunter.
Okay, I'm thinking female bounty hunter, very much sort of like the lone wolf-esque character, goes around, refuses to use like traditional weaponry and instead uses a wooden katana the entire time, yet is so skilled they're able to do like crazy sword slashes and just utterly obliterate opponents and stuff like that. If you're able to guess who I'm talking about, I mean, hats off to you. And how would I actually deal with it? Exterminatus from orbit.
But what about the civilians?
Exterminatus from orbit.
Oh, Starfleet's not gonna... Sorry, Space Fleet. Space Fleet. Not gonna look very kindly on that.
I mean, like, let's face it. I mean, is it Space Fleet or Space Force? Because if we're talking about Space Force, the best solution is just to nuke it from orbit.
Your superiors will be hearing about this.
Yeah.
So, as you're contemplating nuking that freaking planet from orbit, I need you to contemplate and let me know what the tensile strength of Guyver's elbow stabby knives is. Because I need it to stand up to a drill trying to pierce the heavens.
Elbow stabby knives!
Elbow blades? I mean, what do you want?
High frequency swords! God damn it! Oh my god. That's irritated me so much.
Good.
Oh my god. 3.
Okay. Okay, we have a conundrum here now because they clearly have the same thing. So who is going to win between Guyver and the drill that will pierce the heavens?
Okay, first off, I'm just going to throw this out here. As a gigantic Guyver weeb that I am, Guyver would win.
Against the drill that can pierce the universe?
It's a fucking monofilament blade. Of course it's going to fucking slash that to pieces.
I mean, monofilament doesn't really take into account how hard the blade is and durable and what happens when it actually comes into contact with something.
It's gonna cut it!
You know, that's actually not how monofilament blades work.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised that took you that long to call me out on it. But regardless, the guy will destroy Gurren Lagann. There you go. The end.
I love that Xeno knew it was bullshit, and he was just like, yeah.
It's confidence. It's all about delivery. If I deliver it confident enough, people will fucking believe me. Not wrong.
You know, they told King George VI that too. I'm kidding.
How would you know that? Are you a time traveler? Are you a time lord? No, because you're not British.
Okay, first off, the Time Lords weren't all British. Second off,
every Time Lord is British. Don't lie.
That does have interesting implications about the colonial reach of Britain.
Yep.
Or do you mean the colonial reach of the Time Lords?
Oh my god.
You see, the British are actually descended from the Time Lords.
Oh my god.
What a downgrade. Anyways.
What the fuck? Anyway, via your question.
All right. Now, Xeno, keep this in mind as Space Fleet has their eyes on you after a recent incident report in a freak incident of extraterrestrial technology. The center point of a disastrous series of attacks from giant robots within one of the settlements you found in port leads back to a child and is entirely dependent on their already fragile emotional state. What single piece of advice could you offer to minimize collateral damage as they grow older and become an adult?
Ah, you see. Right, okay. The most singular best piece of advice I can give, I'm just going to say, you don't have to do what your dad tells you. It's not like, oh man, can you just imagine if Shinji was a Gundam pilot? Like, Jesus Christ, you'd be so shit at it.
Well, obviously, because his mom's not coddling him.
There's more than 2 levers.
Oh my god. No, I just imagine. Oh god. Okay, right. Here we go. Right, okay. So we swap out Soletta for Shinji, right? Dear god, that series would tank so hard.
Oh, Xeno just wants 2 redheads in Evangelion.
What? No. Put Shinji in Gundam Witch from Mercury.
Yeah, but you just said switch them, so I assume you're doing that just so
No, didn't I say swap out? I thought, yeah, fine. No, fine. Okay, fine. If Soletta was in Evangelion, she just win. There you go. Sorry, tomato slap Gendo. There you go. Fixed it all. Right. The answer is, be like Soletta.
Somehow you keep failing upward, so you're now a commander. And you're lucky because we've actually discovered a new life form. A consciousness that has arisen out of the trillions of computers linked together by the subspace network. But it seems to have the personality of an angsty teenage girl, despite its nearly unlimited power. So what kind of holodeck program would you design to help her achieve self-actualization without turning her into another Moriarty?
Okay. What I would do, which would basically dump them in there. Like, the holodeck would be nothing but weeb culture. Like, okay, here's a Miku concert. Right, there you go. That's fucking entertainment for like a good evening. Here's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right? You know, it would just bring him down. Like the emo factor would just get brought down for the ludicrous factor, the weeb factor, the neat factor. They never leave the holodeck again. You know how Barkley's problem was the fact that he was addicted to the holodeck? Yeah, well, you know, that same problem.
That's the solution for her, is getting her addicted to the holodeck. Okay, I see.
100%.
Interesting.
Yeah. Put him in a Gundam. Not an Ava though.
Xenogelion. What is the most surprising piece of technology you've seen in anime? A lot of the flashy tech loses its luster fast. It's the little ingenuities that blow my mind. And if you say monofilament plates, I'm going to stab you.
God damn it.
That fellow weebs out in the weebiverse is what we call a cock block.
I thought you were going to say a callback, but, you know, can you just highlight the question? It's like, you know, high points the question again. What was the...
Give me the most cool piece of technology that blew your mind from anime.
A man's head turns into a chainsaw.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's not really technology, but okay. I can jive with that.
I mean, actually, no, to be fair, though, like, I always loved everything to do with Ghost of the Shell. Like, you know, absolutely everything, like... You know, being able to deep dive the internet, being able to like explode your hands into like a billion different digits, the whole kit and caboodle. So, but I also just like the idea of a man's head turned into a chainsaw.
Xeno, after a long and tenuous relationship with the space fleet, ultimately you've decided to settle down in a colony within the Sol system, still struggling with conflict but looking up, as a business owner is seeking to use technology already in use in their current military to bring good to the world. In meeting them, they're clearly capable, but are currently seeking many concepts to add to their repertoire. What technology do you think could be adapted from a futuristic war into a context that helps rather than hurts?
I don't know why, but the idea of orbital deployed trucks, flatbed trucks.
Oh my god!
just drop flatbed truck could
dropping an ambulance from orbit.
Yep, you know, like everyone say like fire the torpedoes will be changed from that to fire the truck guns. You know, just fire.
We can't allow a truck gun gap. Sorry, that's a I don't know if anyone else has seen Doctor Strangelove.
Wait, this is Doctor Strangelove anime?
No.
I wish.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what was the core fundamentals of the question? It was like, you know, come up with technology to use to...
what technology do you think that would already exist in a futuristic war that could be adapted into a context that helps instead of hurts?
Oh, God, yeah. It would be turning real robots, which are used for war, into robots that are used to help construction with things. Like, you know, oh, look, we need to put together this building. Instead of having people do it, we have giant mechs help put it together. So, you know, people aren't risking their lives and they can do it faster and shit. Just like patlabor.
Hooray!
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that was going to be one, but I couldn't help it. Yeah,
would you please reveal these taboo anime?
yeah, patlabor.
We still wanted to have a mech anime in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be patlabor.
Oh no, it turns out we've been stuck in a time loop this whole time! I don't know how many times we've come to this realization, but it's always too late. Quick, all Kohai to the escape pods! This is the time we'll make it for anime. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the NMS Xenobane. Our continuing mission to explore strange new anime, to seek out new ways to annoy our senpai, to boldly weeb like no NEET has weebed before.